The Language of Childhood Friends by C.J. It's Winter. Read by Zora J. Zuffer. Summary. Bakugo Katsuki and Midoriya Zuko were very bored, very smart children, and now that they're older, they're making it everyone's problem. Or, Bakugo and Midoriya made a secret language when they were children, and now use it as teenagers, and the one time class 1A witnesses the two talking. Chapter 1. This is how we talk shit. Communicate. It wasn't actually Katsuki or Izuku who came up with the idea of a secret language, but rather a friend they used to hang out with before they all went to school. In their 3-year-old minds, it was a cool spy language, when in actuality it was just calling playground equipment by different names. It did progress slightly, but when their friend, going to a different primary school than them, and Izuku's quirkless diagnosis, a secret language fell to the wayside pretty quickly. However, Inko and Mitsuki were still close friends, despite their sons not talking, and often had catch-ups in each other's house, during which their boys were left to entertain themselves as their mothers, wrongfully, let's be honest, assumed that at 8 they were old enough to keep themselves busy for a few hours without causing too much chaos. Katsuki didn't deal well with the silence. As his longest maybe friend Deku would say, that Katsuki didn't well with full stop. But that's a different conversation for another day perhaps. And after a few catch-ups spent in silence in the living room of whichever family was hosting, he had reached his limit. It had been a passing comment about the stupid names they had for the swings, and suddenly they were working to get the dead language revived, but better and more complex. These conversations were the only times they could talk without starting an argument. They were just Suki and Kachan again, getting ready to take the world by storm. By 10, they had fully fledged sign language, based very slightly on JSL signs and what little they knew of hero and military sign languages. When they've done, they go back to stilted silence in living rooms. And this time, it's Izuku who breaks the tension. They might not be able to see each other's hands. They should make Morse code versions, and so, suddenly, they're both learning normal Morse code. Neither will admit that they both learned it during their downtime so they can show off to the other when their parents meet up. Taking turns to teach each other the letters they learned since last time, then they're adapting it to their own language. If they use it to talk shit about their teachers, then it's no one's business but their own. And if Zuko smiles a bit more now that Kachan will be civil with him outside of living rooms and the dojo, then no one but Katsuki knows why. Finally, in the year before they both try for UA, they make a vocal element. Essentially, it's just Morse code with tongue clicks, but they use short hum as a question mark and a low-pitched whistle for an exclamation mark with a short-pitched whistle before a sentence to show a warning or of importance. But then, suddenly, they are at UA, and Izuku has a quirk. When he taps out Eraserhead's hero status, he gets nothing back. At the end of their first day, he tries to tell Kachan the truth, but the other boy walks away. He lasts a week. Izuku spends an entire lesson tapping out in painstaking detail how he met All Might. If Kachan tenses at the part where Izuku is on a roof by himself, then he won't mention it. He's already seen how much the blonde had hovered for weeks and weeks, kept up constant streams of taps to try and keep Izuku out of his head after he made that stupid remark, had seen the dark circles the boy wore when sleep evaded him. and knew that Kachan had punished himself for it than Izuku ever could. How he came to know about the man's condition, how he got his quirk and his training that he spent all his summer on. He missed the whole lesson, but resolves to get the missed lecture from Todoroki or Ida, who always have meticulous notes. As the bell goes, he hears a tap back. Don't lie. And hidden to all but one in the chaos of everyone leaving, Izuku whistles a high-pitched note before clicking his tongue. I'm not. He leaves. He's done his part in trying to keep their friendship, camaraderie, whatever it was they had. The next day, when Izuku taps out a remark about how if they could bottle President Mike's energy, they could run Japan forever, out of habit, he's taken by surprise a bit that he actually gets a response, commenting on the teacher's, quite frankly, ridiculous hairstyle. He risks a glance at the explosive ash blonde to see him resolutely at his notes, but thinks there's a smirk playing at his lips, and his pen twirling around his fingers, rather than scribbling in his notebook. It becomes a thing. When they're coving the content the two of them have already studied, they spend the lesson tapping out comments about their peers and teachers, normally Bakugo talking shit about the rest of the Baku squad. How he makes Morse code sound fun, Midori will never know. And Izuku talks about his friends and the stats of their pro-hero teachers. Shitty hair dyed his hair in Tape Base's room, and now it's fucking stinks. Eraserhead had a battle recently, so that's why he's not using his quirk on us. Pikachu thinks they're being subtle, but they keep staring out the window. I think they forgot to take their meds again. You can set your phone to send text messages at a certain time. You could do it to text them in the morning. I don't need your help. Half and half was staring at your All Might figure when you showed up to class last week. Great. Thank you, Kachan. His birthday is soon and I had no idea what to get him. Whatever. Did you see Miriko's latest fight? Yeah, she has a new move when she kicked off the roof. Nah, that's because she twisted her knee in the fight before last. Remember? Oh yeah. Well, Hawks definitely has a new technique. Yeah, his turns are much sharper now. Did you see his team up with President Mike? Yeah, I wouldn't have paired them together, but I got loads of notes like... Okay, let's not tap out your whole notebook. Do you think President Mike styles his hair like that? I fucking hope not. Do you think support has to give him the hair gel if it falls under his hero costume? Wait, would they? Midoriya, Bakugo, I know study periods aren't the most entertaining, but could you both stop tapping? You're distracting your classmates. Izuku blushed as he stammered apologies at 13, while Katsuki simply rolled his eyes and continued with the maths worksheet that he had been filling in between tap-talking with Deku. Okay, this is my first attempt at PODFICing anything. It'll be a little messy, but I really want to try this. Seems fun, and I can get more bang for my buck when I'm reading. It'd be like a proof. It's not really my first go. I did some tests earlier today. It's October 12th as of recording, and I did a stream earlier where I read my fanfic, my Oshinoko fanfic, and read a bit of my original work, Rewriting Aurora. I'm going to post chapter 1 on AO3 soon. And I will do a full reading of chapter 1 later.